Hello there. Welcome to the review of the Netflix original, The Glory. But before we go on, here's a word from our sponsors. Surfshark VPN! As you all know, some specific content isn't accessible in certain countries, and this can range from K-dramas to K-pop content featuring your biases. But did you know you could bypass all of this with a little help of Surfshark VPN? All you have to do is subscribe to Surfshark VPN, and this will allow you to change your location to virtually anywhere in the world. You will be able to make full use of your Netflix account, for example, by unlocking content from around the globe and even virtually place yourself in Korea so you can get all those sweet K content that you won't be able to access anywhere else. Imagine missing out on the hottest K-dramas like, for example, The Glory, just because it's not available in your country. What a shame that would be. But with Surfshark VPN, you can change your location virtually and enjoy all the good content the world has to offer. Not only that, but Surfshark VPN's clean web feature blocks ads, trackers, malware, and phishing attempts, allowing you to surf the web safely. Now, if you get Surfshark with our code, you get 83% off plus 3 extra months free. What a great deal. And there's a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there's no risk to try it out at all. Plus, you can use Surfshark on an unlimited amount of devices. For further details, please check out our description box below. I use Surfshark, and you should too. Now let's get back to The Glory. So let's start with the pros first. I think this drama's characters are amazingly written, especially the bullies. While the big theme of the drama is revenge of Dong-eun on the bullies, there is a lot of internal conflict that Dong-eun ensues on the bullies, which in turn gives us an opportunity to see what their characters are truly like. There's hierarchy in the group, for example, Haejung, who gets bullied within the bully group. There's tension between Jeon Jae-jun and also Yeonjin's husband. So there's a lot of different elements at play within this group, and it makes it all the more interesting. If they made a spin-off about just these bullies, I definitely watch that. I especially like the performance of Yeonjin, played by Im Ji-yeon. She was absolutely amazing at capturing this character's downfall and the different emotions that she went through while she was going through the course of Dong-eun's revenge. I think the highlight of her performance was at the end when she does the weather forecast in jail.
오존 농도와 자외선 수치가 높게 나타나겠습니다. 오존 생성이 활발한 시간대인 오후 2시에서 5시 사이에는 외출을 자제하시는 게 좋겠습니다. 박예진이었습니다.
And I think she definitely deserves an award for her performance in this drama. The other bullies are very interesting too. Like, everybody has their own unique character. You can see Chae-jun, who I've seen in online communities in Korea, people saying that he's actually not that bad of a guy. Because if you look at the drama, you can see that actually he's mostly a bystander. Although there are theories and debates on whether or not he raped Yoon So-hee, the previous victim before Dong-eun. And then you have Myung-oh, who is, I think, more of a one-sided character along with Lee-sara. Myung-oh is a very hypersexual character that is kind of at the bottom of the hierarchy. He wants to be the bully, he wants to be the king, but just never got there. He's now a bitch to Chae-jun. And then you also have Sara, who is just, you know, a drug addict, and she's just the craziest among this group. I did not see that scene where she stabbed Haejung in the neck. I did not see that coming. And then we have Haejung, who is the materialistic girl. Basically, she's a gold digger. She's trying to marry some rich guy. She has some sort of complex about lack of wealth because she is actually the poorest, one of the poorest among the bully group, I think, along with Myung-oh. The combination of all these characters are really great because you get to see how these 5 different characters react to Dong-eun's revenge, and they all react very differently. So it adds a lot of dimension to what could easily be a very flat revenge story. Of course, Dong-eun, her character played by Song Hye-kyo, I don't think we really need to talk about how great of an actress Song Hye-kyo is. She's been a top A-list actress in Korea since I was very young. Like, I remember seeing her since the 90s, I think. She's very good at portraying Dong-eun in a very cold and emotionless almost manner. She is just focused on that revenge, although she kind of opens her heart to the doctor, which I gotta say is the most annoying character in this drama, but I'll get to that in the cons. Another thing that I really like about this drama that kind of sets it apart from your typical K-drama is how Dong-eun doesn't really get her hands dirty directly. Instead, she moves these bullies like chess pieces, and then she makes the bullies fight each other, which ultimately leads to their demise. This makes it really difficult to expect what's gonna happen a lot of times. One thing I definitely did not expect Isara to come out of nowhere and just stab Haejang in the neck. And I did not expect Ha-do-young to push Jeon Jae-jun into a block of concrete. And as the drama progresses, you can see the villains go just insane over this intricate plan that Dong-eun has laid out for them, which kind of leads me to the cons of this drama. While I did like how Dong-eun set up the chess pieces, I felt like a lot of her plans relied on coincidence and chance. Let's take an example of two different characters that I feel kind of make this drama not as great as it could have potentially been. And those are Hyun-nam, the helper lady, also Ju Yeojung, the doctor. These two are the sub-characters that basically help out Dong-eun in tricky situations. I felt like they were too powerful. The doctor, for example, I talked about this all throughout the watch party. I could not stand the scenes with the doctor because he was written in such a cheesy and corny way. He's the typical K-drama protagonist, white knight, you know, on a horse, coming in to save the day. And although he has his own motives of him wanting to help the revenge, it really does not justify his affection and his just devotion towards Dong-eun. The lengths this guy goes through. This guy has been left on red for 10 years. He's never dated Dong-eun, and when she suddenly shows up on his doorsteps, he's like, okay, I'm gonna let you into my house. You can live here if you want. I'll let you know my password. Basically comes in to kind of save the day. And that kind of ruins it for me because this drama is about Dong-eun getting her revenge. Of course, she is going to get some help, but this guy just seems too unrealistic. He's just basically the magic key. But whenever there feels like a no way out, he just appears and solves the problem. And I think that's a cheap way out of a problem. I gotta also kind of say the same thing with Hyun-nam, although I feel like her character was a little bit more developed than Ju Yeojung, because Ju Yeojung's a puppy. She is a cleaning lady, right? But she should be scouted by, you know, an intelligence organization. She should be working for the CIA because like she's a cleaning lady. She didn't even know how to like pull out an SD card from a camera when she goes out on the field. Of course it's a K-drama, I understand, but like she like gathers all this information, she stalks everybody, and the bullies have no idea, and she takes all these pictures for Dong-eun to blackmail the bullies. If she was a little less OP, I'd be okay with it, but I feel like she's also a little bit too skilled. Now another con for me is the drama holds your hands a little bit too much, especially in part 2. Whenever there's a certain event, let's just say Dong-eun gathers a new piece of information about the bullies, the drama literally goes into flashback mode and explains the whole damn thing just to let the viewers know that, hey, this is what happened. Just rub it in your face and make sure you don't get confused. And I felt like this was a little bit too much. Does the writer really think we're that dumb? Felt like that kind of lessened the impact of some of these twists. I kind of wanted that mystery where, you know, something happens and I'm like, what's going on? Like, I don't know. Like, how did she find out about this? And then, like, maybe an episode later, we find out how she found out. But no, I think most of the writing in part 2 is just rubbing it in your face. I gotta also say regarding part 2, in part 1 it was more focused around the bullying and her revenge, whereas part 2, because Ju Yeojung, the doctor, he plays such a big role, inevitably there were a lot of Moon Dong-eun and Ju Yeojung romance scenes that were honestly very boring to watch. I felt like they were so unnecessary. Whenever these two came on screen, I was like, I want to skip this right now. It didn't really need to be there. And it made the pace of the drama very loose at certain points whenever these two were trying to make their romance work. And which leads me to my last point. The ending where Song Hye-kyo is trying to kill herself. And I understand why she wants to die, because she's basically sculpted her entire life around getting revenge on the bullies, and now that she's got her revenge, you know, what is she gonna do now? She's kind of lost her purpose. But how does the doctor's mom come out of nowhere? She has never been on that rooftop. She just comes out of nowhere and says, hey, please save my son. It's not like the doctor's mom had any close connections with Moon Dong-eun or anything like that. That's literally lazy writing. And then like when she appears in front of the doctor's doorstep 6 months later, the doctor's still okay with it. Like, what are you doing, my guy? I hope they make a season 2. I really want to see the bullies again. I want to see their characters again. They're just so interesting. We have Yeonjin left, and we have, actually, you know what? Like, they're all pretty much fucked except for, I think Yeonjin could get out, but maybe Yeonjin and Sara are the only, like, yeah, they're all dead or just seriously injured or in jail. So like, there probably isn't a season 2. Overall, really enjoyed the ride. Fantastic watch. If you haven't watched this, then I just spoiled the entire drama for you. But if you still want to watch it after that, then you should go on over to Patreon, where I give out my commentary watching The Glory. And you can also check out 4 years worth of watch parties on Patreon for just $10 a month. And yeah, you can also help us support the channel in that way. And until next time,